Agusan River Basin, Mindanao Surface Water Resources. One of the 5 main river basins in the Philippines, the Agusan River Basin is also the 3rd biggest river basin in the nation. The drainage area of the Agusan River Basin, which is located in the northeastern region of Mindanao, is 10,921 square kilometers. Now, the term drainage area is defined as the land area where precipitation or rain falls off into creeks, streams, rivers, lakes, and reservoirs. The Agusan River passes mainly through 3 provinces in Region 11 and Caraga. The Agusan River Basin is a strategic water resource forming 3 subbasins, namely the Lower Agusan River Basin or the downstream watershed, the Middle Agusan River Basin or the midstream watershed, and the Upper Agusan River Basin or the upstream watershed. Protected areas: Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary. Vision statement: the Agusan River Basin is envisioned as an edifice of a peaceful, prosperous, and empowered citizenry with equitable wealth seated on a well-managed and balanced ecology for sustainable agro-industrial and ecotourism development. Development goal: poverty reduction and enhanced livability in the basin by the year 2020 through the optimal development and sustainable use of Agusan River Basin resources according to an integrated river basin management approach founded on unified governance, demand-based and high-impact interventions, and effective knowledge database development.
Cagayan de Oro River Basin, with a total size of 1,873.84 square kilometers in northern Mindanao, the Cagayan de Oro River Basin, or CDORB, is one of the largest river basins in the Philippines. The basin spans 3 provinces in Region 10 and is bordered by the Bohol Sea in the north, Northern Cotabato in the south, and Lanao del Sur in the southwest. The river basin has significant economic and ecological significance for the local population. It is the center of Mindanao's water rafting and is home to 8 sub-watersheds. Cagayan de Oro River Basin's mission statement is to oversee and catalyze multi-stakeholders for the protection, preservation, rehabilitation, and management of the CDO River Basin. Its vision statement: a rehabilitated, sustainably protected and preserved and well-managed CDO River Basin in 2020. Development goals: river basin and watershed resources that have been repaired and well conserved. Increase the capacity of stakeholders for the CDORB's effective and long-term management. Environmental problems and issues: loss of plant cover, misuse of abuse of land, severe climate change, ineffective waste disposal, the use of unrestrained water, inadequate watershed development and repair efforts, and lastly, quarrying.
The Buwayan Malungan River Basin. It passes through General Santos City, South Cotabato, Sarangani, and Davao del Sur. It is the 18th largest river basin in the Philippines. It extends 33 kilometers from its source to its mouth and spans a surface area of 1,435 square kilometers. The environmental issues are destruction of the forest ecology and denudation, high rate of stillation and erosion, inadequate water resource management, biodiversity in wetlands in danger, increased danger from other natural calamities, as well as increase in the frequency of severity of floods, high rate of poverty, limited access to essential social services, inefficient use of resources, both natural and artificial, issues brought by the societal disputes, inappropriate institutional mechanisms for managing and developing MRBs. The strategies are watershed management and rehabilitation, water resource management, wetland management plan, flood and disaster risk management, human development program, economic development program, institutional development program, communication advocacy plan, and monitoring system.
The Mindanao River, commonly known as the Cotabato River or the Rio Grande de Mindanao, is the principal river of the Cotabato Plain in central Mindanao, the Philippines. It begins as the Pulangi in the middle highlands of northeastern Mindanao Island, flows south, and merges with the Kabakan to become the Mindanao has a length of around 373 kilometers and a total drainage area of 23,169 kilometers or 8,946 square miles, draining much of the island's middle and eastern regions, about 232 miles. Protected areas: Linguasan Marsh, Mount Kitanglang Range National Park, Mount Kalatungan National Park, Mount Apon National Park, Lake Buluan, Lake Cebu, Ala Valley Watershed Forest Reserve, Libungan Watershed Forest Reserve, Muleta, Manupali WFR. Vision statements: a Mindanao River Basin that is sustainable area of peace and development where all stakeholders striving as active collaborators and competent stewards of the Almighty Creator. Adhere to all judicious use of national resources to enjoy non-discriminatory socio-economic growth, human development, and ecological balance that is inclusive for all and without aggression to anyone or anything. Development goal: ensures a focused, comprehensive, and integrated development and management of the Mindanao River Basin that would prevent, mitigate, and protect its inhabitants and stockholders from any calamities and disaster risks and facilitate the attainment of sustainable development. Environmental issues: forest denudation and ecosystem deterioration, rapid siltation and erosion, ineffective water resource management, threatened biodiversity in wetlands, an increase in frequency and severity of floods as well as the other natural disaster threats, significant poverty rate, insufficient access to fundamental social services, inefficient use of resources both natural and artificial, difficulties brought on by societal tensions, ineffective institution frameworks of managing and developing MRBs. Strategies: watershed management and rehabilitation, water resources management, wetlands management plan, flood and disaster risk management, human development, economic development, institutional development, communication and advocacy plan, and monitoring system.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Quezon Up and I will be presenting the Davao River Basin. The Davao River Basin it includes sections of the Inawayan and Sibulan rivers, as well as the Lasang, Bunawan, Panakan, Matina, Davao, and the Loma rivers. Is the largest of Davao City's 9 primary watersheds and the third largest river catchment in Mindanao. The most extensive river basin in the Philippines, the Davao River, is ranked 7th. Its overall land area is around 235 hectares or 0.08% of the 9 watersheds in Davao City. In the city of Davao, the river serves as the aquifer's primary natural reservoir. So, yung major source of this 143 kilometer long river runs through a series of tributaries. Tributaries ay kung saan ang freshwater stream ay pumupunta siya sa larger stream. It could be river pa rin or other body of water like lakes. Ganyan. Series of tributaries is the Salug River near San Fernando, Bukidnon, Then the river passes through the center of Davao City before opening eastward onto the Gulf of Davao. So its width fluctuates roughly between 60 and 90 meters, and typical river flow niya is thought to be between 70 and 80 cubic meters per second. Protected areas, it has its protected areas, the Mount Apo Natural Park and the Malagos Reservation. Its vision statement, a healthy Davao River Basin sustainably managed by empowered and responsible stakeholders. And its development goals, to boost the RBs or the Davao River Basin's competitive advantages and the sustainability and quality of ecosystem, goods and services that are obtained from it, and to promote local socioeconomic growth and alleviate or reduce poverty in DRB. They focus more on how to preserve its ecosystem and at the same time to reduce the poverty around this area or around this Davao River Basin. Of course, its mission is to collaboratively improve the RB's condition and climate change resilience to provide ecosystems goods and services based on the principles of, there are four principles: integrated watershed resource management, the good governance and stewardship, the gender and cultural sensitivity, and the inclusive growth. For the benefit of on-site and resource managers, farmers, enterprises, industries, and communities. And of course, this river basin has its also environmental issues and also its strategies on how to solve these problems. So its primary issues are the forest lands are deteriorating or it's damaging, and the transformation of forests for other purposes, like for example these forests, these lands are used for subdivisions or for like new buildings, or they do some illegal logging, or there it causes the timber theft where they steal woods, the upland migration and quick growth of populated regions, poverty, population growth around riverbanks, estuaries, and coasts. Estuaries are where the river water or the fresh water meets the usually meets the ocean water, and then insufficient restroom facilities where kumbaga dahil kulang ng restroom facilities, ang mga tao ay their wastes, they usually just dispose it in the river. Natapon lang sa river, they cannot dispose it properly since kulang tayo ng restroom facilities in this area. And then pollution from farms that produce food, like animal waste, like farm animals waste, and then also the waste from vegetables and fruits, like their mga balat. And then the poor environmental law and policy enforcement and governance. Then last is the plans for resource management, land use, and development that are not consistent. Kumbaga yung mga project nila for these issues are not consistent. And then the strategies that they have are the protection, conservation, and high hazard areas, or the PCHAs, management and regulation to increase the resilience and stability of ecosystems throughout the reef landscape. Then the encouragement of investments to strengthen the RB's comparative advantages in aid of socio-economic development. And lastly is the enhancing basin, sub-watershed, and local government unit policies and processes of local governance. Kumbaga, they are more focusing on investments and also finding resources how to protect this area, or implementing policies, rules, so people can know what to do with this area or how to preserve it, how to protect it. And that would be all for the Davao River Basin. Thank you.
Tagum-Ligubanon River Basin has an area of 2,374 square kilometers, which covers the provinces of Davao del Norte and Agusan del Sur. Vision statement: an ecologically balanced river basin sustained by God-centered, culturally bound, socio-economically empowered and resilient communities. Development goals: flood mitigation, integrated watershed and water resources management, livelihood development and promotion,